Good evening, Cerritos residents and the members of our community. I would like to call to order the Thursday, July 10, 2025, 7 o'clock p.m. City Council Successor Agency regular meeting. The invocation will be led by City Clerk Cindy Nava, and the pledge will be led by Boy Scout Troop 72. If the audience would please rise, if you are able, for the invocation, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, City Clerk Cindy Nava.
Please bow your heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight in service to our community, seeking wisdom, clarity, and unity. May our discussions be guided by thoughtful purpose and a cooperative spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Well, that was quick. They didn't put the little thing there.
Please rise for the flag ceremony. All those in uniform, right hand salute. All those not in uniform, right hand over your heart. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can someone put down the backdrop? Okay, Boy Scout Troop 72, thank you for coming in and doing the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm really proud of you. Can you please tell us your names? And why don't you tell us what school and grade you're going to be in the fall? Thanks.
Hi, my name's Rithvik Mudden, and I'm going to be a freshman at Cerritos High School in the fall.
Hello, my name is Gavin Trin. I'm going to be in 7th grade at Whitney High School, or Whitney Middle School.
Hello, my name is Wesley Tan, and I'm going to be in 7th grade at Carmelita Middle School.
Hi, my name is Soren Vang, and I'm going to be in 6th grade at Gonzalez Elementary School.
Okay, thank you, boys. If you'll please join us over here. We're going to take a photo with the City Council colleagues, and will the Scout leaders please join us in the photo as well? Everybody make sure you can be seen. Mark, you can be seen. Mark, be seen.
A little taller. All right. Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Extra. Yeah,
Thank you, Stein, son. He's my friend. Stein, thank you.
Good luck, you guys.
My friend.
All right. Thank you. Who's going to win? Oh, you are? Oh. I went to win.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Madam Assistant City Clerk, will you please conduct the roll call?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Council and Agency Member Hong.
Present.
Council and Agency Member Pulido.
Present.
Council and Agency Member Say.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem and Vice Chair Johnson is noted absent for the record. Mayor and Chair Yokoyama.
Here. I make a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Second.
Can we vote on the screen?
Motion passes on a vote of 4-0.
Presentations. Business Spotlight. Royal Plywood Company. Dana, will you please come up here? Royal Plywood Company. Founded in 1961, Royal Plywood Company is a leading wholesale distributor of specialty panel products, including hardwoods, softwoods, and laminates. Their extensive inventory also includes high-gloss surfaces, melamine, solid surfaces, siding, and decking, providing solutions that meet diverse project needs. Royal Plywood has earned a reputation for reliable delivery, exceptional product quality, and dedicated customer service among architects, designers, construction professionals, and cabinetry and millwork manufacturers. Their core values center around service excellence, high-quality materials, dependability, and next-day delivery. Royal Plywood Company is located at 14171 Park Place here in Cerritos. For more information, you could visit them at www.royalplywood.com. And we have here Dana from Royal Plywood. Can you tell us what brings you here, who you are, and tell us about Royal Plywood Company in Cerritos, please?
Certainly. Pardon me, I'm not a speaker, but I happen to be president of Royal Plywood. I've been with the company actually 50 years. The company was founded in 1961. The founder of the company, God bless him, who recently passed away at 98, had the wisdom and foresight to relocate to Cerritos in 1979. Cerritos was our starting point, and we still consider Cerritos as what we call our mothership here, but we've gone on to be able to expand thanks to that start in our modest beginnings in Cerritos to Chandler, Arizona, Las Vegas, and Sacramento. But, actually, we're very blessed. We have 100 and some odd employees here in Cerritos, over 200 that are supported by those 100 people. And you're inviting me here made me reflect a little bit about just how fortunate we are to be located in Cerritos. You are a very progressive government. I deal with other areas, and you have a great mix of business, of residential, of retail. We have many of our people live and they have their families here in Cerritos. Those that don't spend, a good part of their day here. It's a wonderful location, I can tell you, in reflecting on the other locations that we deal with in municipalities. So it's for me to have a chance to thank you for what you've done for us. You've always been responsive. We've dealt with if there's a zoning issue, if it's the Cerritos Sheriff's Department, your fire department, every aspect, you've been very reasonable and cooperative. And I feel that we're taken well care of. So I'm here to thank you. Appreciate it greatly.
Thank you, Dana. Don't go anywhere. And that was a great speech. You did great. Thank you. So I'm honored on behalf of the Cerritos City Council and the City of Cerritos to present Royal Plywood Company and you, Dana, with this proclamation.
Oh, thank you so much.
And if I can have my council colleagues come up so we could take a group photo with you.
I'd love it.
Great.
Come down here.
All right, we're gonna see a flash right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. That was a sincere thank you to you all too. Congratulations.
Appreciate it too. That's your fifth business in the future.
Thank you so much.
Dana. And I also just wanted to announce that Dana is always Dana and Royal Plywood Company is also receiving a certificate of recognition from the office of our California State Senator, Tony Strickland.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for that honor.
This is a really special recognition. I'm really glad that we can, the Cerritos City Council and the City of Cerritos can recognize the service to Planning Commissioner and former Chair of the Planning Commission, Gloria Perlas Polito. Can you come on up, please? Hello, Gloria. So, as I was starting my second term on the Cerritos City Council in 2022, the planning commissioner I had for my first term did a fantastic job. Jim Giordano told me that he was ready to move on with other things in his life, and I searched hard and long to find a good planning commissioner, and I'm so blessed that back in 2022, I requested and asked Gloria Perlas Polito, my friend that I've known since the 7th grade, if she would be my planning commissioner, and she didn't say yes when I asked, and I had to wait a couple of days, but a couple of days later, she told me that she would accept my request to be my planning commissioner, and I will tell you that I am so lucky, and the city of Cerritos and the residents and the business community is so lucky because she, as a planning commissioner, and in her final term, in her final months as the chair, she has been a pro-resident planning commissioner and a pro-business planning commissioner, a business-friendly planning commissioner. And we all know that the city of Cerritos is a business-dependent city. We are a sales tax-dependent city, and she advocated, she was the voice on the planning commission that advocated for the high-end drive-through Starbucks on Bloomfield and Del Amo, which is now open for business for a while now and successful and bringing a lot of business to the city of Cerritos, and it's adding jobs to the city of Cerritos, and it is providing economic development to the city of Cerritos. So that's one of the examples that are numerous of Planning Commission Chair Gloria Polito supporting business in Cerritos and supporting residents in Cerritos. So I'm honored on behalf of the Cerritos City Council to present her, Gloria Perlas Polito, with this plaque. But before I make her carry it, I'm going to see if she has some words to say. So would you like to say anything, Planning Commission Chair Gloria Perlas Polito?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for those kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Mayor, city council members, city staff, guests here at the chamber, and viewers at home. I've been lucky to grow up in this beautiful city of Cerritos since 1979. Growing up here and going to our public schools, bar none, we're so lucky to be living in a city where there's so much care by our residents, care by our staff, care by our elected leaders. That's very unique, I think, in these days and times right now. First of all, I wanted to thank Mayor Frank Yokoyama, who is a dear friend. We've went to Whitney High School together, and as he said, we've known each other since 7th grade, for having the confidence in me to serve in this capacity beyond being a resident. It's such an honor. The call of public service is unique, and when you have that calling, you know, you don't want to refuse it. You feel like you have an obligation to serve and make your hometown better than it is. So when he first asked me, I was in Ventura County, staffing my boss, California State Treasurer Fiona Ma. So he called, and then I answered the phone, and then he asked. I was just kind of caught off guard and caught by surprise that he even asked. So yes, he tells the true tell of the story that I didn't say yes right away, that I needed to consult with my husband and our family to make sure that is the best decision to make together. And then, yeah, I did happily accept later. And so thank you for that. And then I just wanted to also thank our city staff here. Under the leadership of Director Kristen Aguila, who couldn't be here, she's on her well-deserved vacation with her family, and her team, Sabrina, our assistant attorney, Shukan, who's here, all the other staff that I'm lucky to work with, Director Alvin Papa of Public Works and his team. We have the best staff in the nation. As a group, if you know, they're really loyal, they're really knowledgeable, they're experts at what they do. They make our job easier by doing the research, providing the recommendations, and I'm so lucky to work with such wonderful and dedicated staff. You know, that's such an honor, and it says a lot about our city, how much our staff puts into it. So, yeah, I miss them, working with them a lot. It's been such an honor. And then I also want to thank my father, who's here with me today, Nazario D. Flores Jr. We moved here in the city in 1979. He is a veteran of the United States Navy. He served for nearly 30 years. So him and with my late mom, who passed away in September last year, I just wanted to thank them for having the foresight to move to this great city, to join his sister and my grandma, his mom, so we could together be here and grow up with our extended family. I wanted to really thank them. They've been also servants. My dad served in the military, and my mom also was staff in city government. So their example of public service is also why I do the things that I do. I also want to thank my siblings, and then also my late father-in-law, Rudy Polito, my mother-in-law, who's watching at home, Esther Polito, who also contributed a lot to this great city that we live in, and my siblings, who mean a lot to me, and also my sister-in-law, Marisa, who's also always stood by my side and supported our family. But last but not least, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without my wonderful husband, Mark Polito, right here. We've dated for 39 years. We've met in high school, so that was one of the joys of growing up in this community, meeting the love of my life at a young age. So I'm so blessed and lucky, and we're going to be celebrating 26 years later this month. So I love you, and thank you so much for always being by my side and being my biggest cheerleader. Oh, God. And then my two beautiful children who are also raised in this community, Malia Polito and Mark Jr. My son's a sophomore, and our daughter graduated from Cal State Long Beach last year, and she works at Cerritos Small. It's Zara, so she's helping, move forward economic development in this great city, working to make a difference in this community. They're both working to make a difference in this community. And lastly, hopefully I didn't forget anybody. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart. The commission's in great hands under the leadership of Chair Armin Reyes. I've been so lucky to work with such commissioners who go above and beyond. With this last commission, it's been a change of people that care so much. They're so intellectual discussions. They're insightful. And together, it's just really a great learning experience to learn from each other and just have those great discussions, because it just shows how much they care about this city and want to make it better, make a difference. So again, I wanted to thank everyone for this opportunity to be here and for all the support that I've received. And thank you to our great city leadership, our city staff, and the residents for all you do to make the city the great city it is. Thank you.
Okay, so Gloria's family, can you come up, please, and join us in the photo? And council colleagues, can you come up and join us in the photo? And on behalf of the City of Cerritos and the Cerritos City Council, Gloria Perlas Polito, we would like to present you with this plaque to recognize your outstanding service for the City of Cerritos by being a planning commissioner and planning commission chair for the City of Cerritos. Thank you. Let's take a group photo. Oh, there's a presentation.
Oh, no, no presentation.
You need a mic. Let's take a photo just of these two. You two, take a photo.
Oh, just, oh.
You two.
Want prom pose?
All right, right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's take a group photo.
No, no, no.
Mark, you stand next to me.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. No, 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 no. Surround us.
Make sure you can be seen. Yeah, you might step on the top step. Step on the top step so you can be seen.
You can step on the top step.
Yeah. Let's all back up close to this.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Please stay there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3.
Good job, you guys always go.
Glenn.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
that's it too. Remember me?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was a neighbor.
Everybody, get up, clear out. I'm taking a photo with you.
Okay, okay, okay.
Clear out. Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Take this from this, our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is family. Yeah. In the same way. Just what I said. Yeah.
And I also wanted to please let Gloria and announce that Gloria is also receiving a certificate of recognition from the office of our California State Senator Tony Strickland. It's a certificate of recognition to Gloria Perlas Polito as Planning Commissioner for the City of Cerritos.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, the 4 of us. Okay. Glenn, just one.
You don't want this.
It's just the 4 of us. Yeah. Yeah, one row. Yeah. There you go. Okay. There. There's the-
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Good job. Hold this for your mom. Okay, I got that. Okay. Good job. Good job.
Oh,
Good job,
that's
boy.
a nice one, son. You can't see it.
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Son.
Okay. Do any of my colleagues have any appointments to make today? Do any of my colleagues have any appointments? Okay, then I ask for council consensus to defer 5B advisory board appointments to the next meeting. Okay, we have consensus to defer item 5B to the next meeting. Okay. I don't have any appointments to make today, so I ask for council consensus to defer item 5C, mayor's annual appointments, to the next city council meeting. I ask for consensus.
Concur.
Okay, we have consensus. Let's move
Yes.
item 5C to the next city council meeting. I will now open, oh, hold on. So we're going to public comments. Thank you for your attendance at tonight's meeting. State law and our local rules do not support the use of profanity, hateful speech, or conduct that disrupts the conduct of this city business meeting. If necessary, I will issue an initial warning and call for a recess to restore order. The following comments pertain to all public comment periods on tonight's agenda. I will open public comments at the appropriate times on the agenda. Please be prepared to approach the podium and begin your comments at the time you are called. Public comments should be directed to the city council and made only from the podium during your turn. Please respect each speaker and refrain from any disruptive behavior or speech during their comment time. Public comments will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Agenda item 6 public comments should be limited to items on the consent calendar, closed session, and items not listed on the agenda, but that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the legislative body. Prior to tonight's meeting, the city council received full text, unredacted copies of one written comment submitted by the deadline for item 6. Requests for copies of written comments can be made to the office of the city clerk during regular business hours. I will now open for item 6 public comments. Are there any names submitted for item 6 public comments?
Mayor, there are speakers signed up. However, due to technical difficulties, we cannot see the names.
Okay, so I don't see any names. Where do we have speaker cards?
We can have speakers sign up on cards after they speak. We do not currently have cards.
Okay, so I do not see any names.
We don't see any names either. We are experiencing technical difficulties, unfortunately.
Okay, members of the public, normally I have a list of names available to me on my screen. I do not have any names, so I will be having public comment now for item 6. When you come up to speak, please state your name. Yeah, but sir, would you like to speak first? I saw you stand up first. Why don't you speak first? And everybody else, if you could please put your name on a card. And I open the meeting for public comment. Thank you, sir. What is your name? And please make your public comment.
Hi, my name's Richard Vandenberg. I'm owner of a business in Cerritos, Off-Street Cafe on Artesia Boulevard. I come here tonight a bit out of a frustration, some concern. There's been street takeovers at the corner of Studebaker and Artesia, and the street takeovers are often used as a vehicle to take over businesses and rob them. So a couple weeks ago, we were robbed for the 4th time in 3.5 years and attempted to break-ins twice. and the back storage unit has been broken into 3 times. I'm concerned that public safety isn't taken seriously. I think the city of Cerritos is a great city. It's well run, but I think public safety is lacking. And I don't blame the sheriff's department. I blame the sheriff, and I blame the board of supervisors for underfunding the sheriff's department. They're funded right now at 75%. And I know for a fact that the new sheriff deputies who are coming in are serving a lot of time working at the Twin Towers in downtown LA, and they're not going on the streets. And as a business owner, I'm suffering because of that. I see what Lakewood has done with the cameras on the streets, taking pictures of license plates, trying to catch some of these people. But when you have 12 people trying to break into your business, they're going to get in. And it took them 8 minutes from the time they started breaking it, from the time they broke in until the time they left, 8 minutes. And the sheriff department got there about 20 minutes after the initial break-in. It has happened, like I said, 4 times, and I'm frustrated. I've spent money on security, on cameras, over $60,000, and every time they break in, it costs me another $3,000, $4,000. It's onerous, and it really concerns me that I believe the sheriff isn't taking crime seriously in the city of Cerritos and other parts of this county. So that's all I have to say, but thank you very much. Appreciate you listening to me.
What was your first name again?
Richard?
Richard of Off Street Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Captain Drew Strong, we've heard from Richard, and we need to address this right away in his neck of the woods, and the entire city of Cerritos.
Yeah, I've spoken to the commander of the department. She's great, knows what I'm going through, wants to help, but they're short deputies. Yeah. They can't help. And I know your contract with the department. I mean, you got to talk to the sheriff. He's got to put more deputies on the street, and he's just got to do it. And he's claiming he's fully funded and he's got enough, but he doesn't. And we all know that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. So, Captain, in your capacity as the captain of the sheriff's station, please share these concerns with the sheriff, Sheriff Robert Luna.
Copy that, sir. We will do. And I think we've reached out to the gentleman, and we're working on trying to help him, create a little bit of a stronger deterrent to keep people out of the location. But I do realize that he's had some issues over there, and we are trying to address that with him. And
Robert, city manager, what's the status of the ALPR cameras that are in that area of Studebaker and Artesia?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. We just completed phase 2 of the installation of automatic license plate reader cameras. Phase 3, now that the new budget for the new fiscal year has been adopted, we are initiating phase 3. That'll be coming within the coming months.
Okay, let's make sure we keep our residences and our businesses informed about the status of ALPR cameras being installed throughout our city of Cerritos. Okay. Stephanie Wu will be next. Thank you, Stephanie.
Good evening, honorable members of the City Council. My name is Stephanie Wu, a proud resident of Cerritos. Next year, I'll be a senior at Cerritos High School, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my fellow neighbors. In Cerritos High School, I'm an avid member of our Model United Nations program. We learn how to speak up, solve problems, and make real change in our community. And that is why I'm here, because I believe in using my voice to help my parents, my neighbors, and when something just isn't right. Though the trees have been a beautiful addition, underneath the surface, the roots have become a source of damage, danger, and distress. Our driveways have been cracked, lifted, and fractured, the damage creeping our way across public sidewalks. There are safety hazards and legal liabilities. The costs have been staggering. According to national estimates, root-related property damage ranges from $30,000 to $50,000 per home. Here in Cerritos, my fellow neighbors have submitted claims based by photos. Since noticing the change, my fellow neighbors have diligently spoken with the Public Works Division, Risk Management, and Carl Warren and Company, providing frequent updates to their representative, Larry Mullen. On May 21st, 2025, I contacted the city to schedule this council meeting and was directed to Elise Camacho. After all that effort, we have now been waiting for over 3 months with no real communications, since April, and it's now July 10th. Certain departments and claim processors have continuously failed to follow city policy. Instead of clarity or response, we have been met with delays, deflections, and dismissals, specifically told to just live with it. Could anyone live with cracked concrete that endangers children, parents, and the elderly? Could anyone just live with repair costs for damage that you didn't cause? I have lived in Cerritos for almost all of my life. I know that we are a forward-thinking and award-winning city. We are a city that emphasizes smart planning and invests in the future. I know Cerritos as a city that doesn't turn away when problems arise, but listens and adapts. The city's own inspections have confirmed that these tree roots are damaging public sidewalks, which the city has repaired in some cases, yet our private property claims have remained unaddressed. We have followed all protocols, submitting claims with photos, reports, and repair estimates, yet we are told our requests are unreasonable. We are told that we should just live with it. We cannot live with injustice, and we cannot live with damage, from taxpayers to homeowners to families and as citizens. I love Cerritos, and we are all dedicated on how to improve, beautify, and advance Cerritos. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Stephanie. Arvin Patu. Arvin Patu. It looks like the name is Arvin Patu. Thank you. Elaine McGee.
Hello, folks. I was here about a month ago, and I don't know if you remember me, the bug lady.
I remember you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. My daughter wrote something really nice. I'd like to read this to you first, and then continue on. I have another neighbor here, and if we could just keep it all together so you guys can have all the issues that we can get in our 10 minutes. Okay. It says, good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Ela McGee. I have lived in this lovely city neighborhood since 1996, and I'm here to respectfully remind and ask the city to hold Southern California Edison accountable for maintaining their property on Studebaker. The weeds on their land are growing back rapidly, and they are now again releasing white, fluffy seeds that are not only unsightly, but are also causing real damage, clogging pool filters and impacting the upkeep of neighboring properties. These seeds get into our pool filters, clog them, and cost us hundreds of dollars in repeated cleanings and replacements. Beyond that, the area has become a breeding ground for bugs and creates an overall neglected look in the community. On top of that, the overgrowth that is attracting bugs, we are now having to treat for regularly, another added cost, and they're bothering our pets, animals on our property in our community. We're all spending extra money every month just to deal with these problems, coming from the property that's not being properly maintained. Aside from the financial impact, the appearance of this unkept land affects the look and feel of the entire neighborhood. We're simply asking for accountability. This property reflects on our neighborhood, and it's only fair that Southern California Edison is required to maintain it just like any other private homeowner would be expected to. I urge the city to enforce proper maintenance standards and ensure that this area does not continue to be a burden on the residents around it. Now, the money that is spent, it's a lot. I've been dealing with this since the first week of February. We're now in July. I was here a month ago. You guys have seen a video of the bugs crawling over my fence. Now, that was after the pest control stood there and sprayed it, soaked the fence. They came not by the hundreds, not by the thousands, not by the millions, but billions, and just kept on coming. Within 24 hours, they were up our house, in our house, out in the middle of the street, working their way into the neighborhood. I have since gotten a phone call from Southern California Edison. His name was Ephraim Miranda, since I was here the last time. And he says they were out there every day for a whole week, Didn't see any kind of bugs whatsoever, so they won't be spraying. I'm like, okay, what about preventive maintenance? We all do preventive maintenance
Excuse me
in
for
our...
1 second. Stephanie? Drew, can you please make sure you you talk to them and make sure we fully understand the current status of the claim and then report back to the city council?
Yes, sir.
Let us know. So make sure you get Stephanie's contact information and the full status of their claim. Sorry, you have
No problem,
you're
no
going to have your full time. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry about that.
Whew. Oh. The what? The billions of bugs. Billions of bugs. Oh, the billions of bugs. Now, we've tried to get that under control. I've gotten a phone call from a gentleman by the name of, can't remember his name right now, but I have it written down. And he told me that they were out there every day for a whole week, didn't see any bugs whatsoever, so they wouldn't be spraying. And I said, why can't we do preventive maintenance like us private homeowners do around to keep up our property? As homeowners in the city of Cerritos, you guys have certain rules and regulations that we have to follow as homeowners. Now, what about these business owners that have businesses? Do they have the same strict? Do they get cited when they don't do something that they're supposed to do? I mean, this property, the weeds are growing back now even more. I'm dealing with weeds in my filter, and a filter should only be cleaned 3 times a year, every 4 months. I'm doing mine once a week, and I do it myself because I cannot afford to pay for somebody to come in and do it. So again, if we can get a hold of Southern California Edison and tell them they need to get out there and get these weeds under control, and they need to put it on a spray preventive maintenance type of a thing to where they're spraying for these bugs. Because these bugs are just, I was talking with Miss C over here, German cockroaches. They carry diseases. They're in my home. The rats, the mice, you know, it's become too much. My daughter's to the point she's ready to admit me into Lakewood Hospital. So hopefully I'll be at the next meeting in 2 weeks and I'll have a better update that it's being taken care of better, or you guys have some information for me. That will be great. Or she just might commit me. I don't know at this point. And my neighbor here, she's our neighborhood watch. She has some, we have some photos here that we'd like to pass forward to you guys. Who should I give them to?
Did you want to speak too? Yes. Okay, then let's have you come up and your 5 minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
Your 5 minutes can start. What? Did you turn in a card?
I did.
What
I'm
is your
Vern
name?
Lynn, last name Lynn.
Okay, go ahead.
First name Vern.
Thank you, Vern.
As you guys know, Elaine, she was brave enough to come here last time on her own. My neighbors came knocking to my door, and you guys just found out I am the neighborhood watch captain. That's all I am. So I took it upon myself to check out the property yard of the Edison yard today. And as a homeowner myself, I'm familiar with the citation truck, the white citation truck that drives around our neighborhood. I believe Kimberly was the last person I spoke to that was in that truck. She's very pleasant. And yeah, I do believe the business owner should have some type of responsibility, not just with bug control and weed control, but just overall maintenance. So I went over there today, and I already knew this was going on, but as you get closer, you probably can't see it, but I will show you on the iPad as much as possible. Trash after trash after trash after trash on that Edison yard. You'll see in the pictures that there's a picture there that has when the weeds were overgrown, and it'll show a picture of when the weeds were now chopped, and it's just dry vegetation. And I'm thinking, being a fireman's wife, my husband is a LA City fireman for almost 13 years. Him and I also grew up in the city of Cerritos, so we love this city as well. I'm just thinking, look at all this dry vegetation. This is the driveway of the Edison yard that supposedly Ephraim went to and said that there were no bugs there. He drove through this and still didn't send anybody to clean it up. And I'm looking and I'm like, wow, I'm hoping those white lumps are rocks. No, okay, well look. An actual bag of firewood. Well, what usually comes along with firewood? There's fuel, there's matches, amongst other things. We also share this part of the city. Our borderline city is Lakewood, where they do allow firework usage in that city. There could have been a brush fire. Absolutely. My neighbor also shared in our group. We shared what we would be speaking about today. She brought up that she had sparks. She lives closer to the 195th bridge. Her backyard is. She had sparks right in her backyard, and she called the city constantly, letting them know. No one came until finally she called the sheriff's station, and that's when something was done with Edison, and they came down. So what we're going for moving forward is that we need the preventative maintenance. The weeds cannot be overgrown again. The overgrown weeds bring the bugs. The sparrows want to eat the bugs. The sparrows poop all over the properties. It brings the roaches. It brings the mice. I mean, you go to any restaurant in Cerritos, that's what we're known for now, right? Is all these businesses. You'll see the vermin boxes. Edison could at least do the least to maintain that yard. The rest of the yard is not like that. The lot where the cars are, it is not unkept like that. Their flowers are beautifully growing there. The weeds are not unkept. And it's just this specific part, and it's happened ever since that nursery left. So this is not a new thing. It's not since June. It's since February when that nursery left. And with the time left that I have, was there something else?
We did want to mention on 4th of July, you know, because I can stand upstairs and look right into the lot out onto Studebaker. And I did call the sheriff's department, Cerritos Sheriff's, because they were literally lighting them off on the sidewalk, center divider in the park. There was a couple cars parked over there, and they were running back and forth from the cars into the park and across the street lighting off fireworks. And I reported this, and they said they'll send somebody over. I stood up there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That car was still there, and they're still out there lighting it off. So, you know, we don't know what else to do over there. And I called Southern California Edison on their hotline. I says, you'll end up with a fire because of how dry that brush is. Then what are we supposed to do once we have a fire over there? With the substation. That shuts down a whole lot of businesses in the city of Cerritos, including the mall. I don't think y'all want all that. So we're just asking for some help. That's all we're really doing. Thank you.
Yes, so moving forward, like we said, we're looking for the preventative maintenance. And also it's come to a point where I honestly don't know why Edison is speaking with her. This has come to a point where you guys are supposed to manage the businesses within your city, regardless if Edison owns that property. Just like you guys come and cite us for any little thing on our yard, you know? So that is what we're hoping for. There are also going to be 3 new properties for sale in my neighborhood itself, or area B, zone 26. It would be nice if this could be figured out before the new neighbors move in. Thank you.
Robert, city manager, Elaine McGee recently came in at a city council meeting and spoke about this Southern California property. The city council asked you to look into it right away. Could you please update us on your work on this matter?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. After the first speaker, Ms. McGee, showed up to the previous city council meeting, in accordance with city council direction, the very next day I reached out to our government affairs representative at Southern California Edison to let him know of the issues that had arisen, the concerns expressed by the residents as well as the council. They immediately scheduled someone to inspect the property and verify the concerns. They did have a pest control person come to spray the area. And I did ask that a representative from Edison reach out to the resident to advise them of what was going on. So those pest control activities did occur. It's my understanding that the existence of those pests has subsided. But nevertheless, the issues that were reported this evening related to property maintenance, ongoing property maintenance, we will take that very seriously. I will ask that our code enforcement division reach out to Edison. I will also personally reach out to my contact at Edison to ensure that this is a high priority for them and that they maintain it to an acceptable standard.
Thank you. Can you please reach out to Edison tomorrow?
Yes, I will do.
Thank you. Sona Bach. Sona, looks like Sona Bach, B-A-C-H. Sona Bach.
Good evening, council members. My name is Fernando Sandoval. I reside at 175.
I called up Sona Bach.
I'm Sona Bach. I'm sorry, I'm Sona
Fernando,
Bach.
you have your own card.
We're,
So you want to speak, Fernando? I have Fernando and Gloria Sandoval.
Yes.
we're as a group.
So you guys are going to speak as a group?
We're here, 4 different residents on Kensington Circle on tree root claims.
Okay, so Fernando, you're going to speak?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I believe that you folks have a copy of what we were looking at to speaking about tonight. I passed it out to Alicia earlier. You should have a copy of it up there.
We're ready to hear your public comment.
I'm sorry?
We're ready to hear your public comment, Mr. Fernando
Okay.
Sandoval.
As I said, I've been a resident in the city for 55 years, since 1971 when we moved in, the same home. I've seen what's gone on with the existing trees. We put a claim in back in 2012, finished in 2014, of the trees that were on a coral. When this project began to take these trees out because of the damage they were doing to the infrastructure of the streets, sewers, and other things that were going on with the tree roots. At that point, Todd Koo was one of the people of the Public Works Department, and we went over those trees on our particular street, Kensington Circle, were decided to be taken out because the curbs have been raised by the roots and the street also to a point where it had to be redone. So in essence, the damage has been done over many, many years. Yes, as I was just speaking with the gentleman right now, that he says the sidewalks are within ADA compliance. That's understandable. But every time that they went to replace sidewalks, in the past, I believe, 10 years, they've been replaced 5 different times, if I'm not mistaken, in the past 10 years. So every time that the sidewalks, we would call to have a sidewalk replaced because it was a tripping hazard, they would leave the roots that were underneath there, only dig out far enough to place 3.5 inches back a sidewalk, and that's it. As they had raised the planters or driveways or retaining walls of our private properties, that just kept raising up. So now there's quite a bit of difference between the elevations of both. The residents, all of us, the 4 residents that are listed there, 5 actually, one is not here tonight, we submitted claims. The protocol that you folks asked for, we followed that, we've done that. We personally took money out of our pockets to have a contractor come and dig out the areas that the roots are, expose them, take pictures which are within our claims and other pictures that we have. Now we're being told sidewalks are within ADA compliance, we're not doing anything, okay? They've encroached into our property, part of the sidewalk on Mr. Fox Louis' property, which he's located on the corner of a Coral and Kensington Circle. I pointed this out to Gerard in a meeting that we had, and one of the things that really left us in the blank as residents, when a person comes out from your engineering department, Gerard Lee, Sona and I had a phone conversation on June the 25th of this year. We both were on the phone, and I told them that we were both speaking on the phone, speakerphone. And I says, we need some direction, we need some answers. I'll have something for you tomorrow, at the latest the next day. That was June 25th. Nobody's had the courteousness to call us back or say, you know, we're not doing nothing, sorry, that's it. He wants to put us on some program that he mentioned, and that's why I asked him, call back make a meeting either here on site or within the city so that all the other residents can see what's going on. And I want the residents to learn how to handle this stuff. I've been helping all of them. I've been in construction all my life, and that's why I'm handling it for them. But my time is limited. I have cancer very, very badly. I don't know, my days are counted. So for him to tell us, I don't see nothing wrong with your property, what is it that you want? And then says, he says, do you want my opinion? I said, sure. He says, my opinion is live with it.
Who told you that?
Gerard Lee. That's not, I don't think that's proper, nor does that give us a lot of credit as residents. We're here, Mark, I believe you, the last time that we went through, when the trees were on a coral that we took them out, you saw, the council saw what we fought. 2 years it took us to get those trees out. We replaced those, our walls and the sidewalks from the corner of Marquardt and a coral to the corner of La Bonita and that in the project that we did.
Mr.
And you
Sandoval,
folks-
you used up your 5 minutes. We have multiple speakers who want to speak. Can you please wrap it up?
Okay, so our next thing would be to request, that's what we try to do, is request a council meeting. That's the first call we made, to replace a council meeting, but nobody would give us the time or the dignity to say, let's put you in. And that's why we came here to speak tonight. So I'll let some of the other people speak, the residents also, but we have been refused to make a meeting with you folks to bring this up.
Thank you, Mr. Sandoval.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Sona
Thank you
Bach.
for your time.
Sona Bach.
Hello, I'm Sona Bach. I wanted to just let you guys know that Fernando has stated what I was going to state, both of us combined together. And according to, what we have over here, yes, we did speak to Larry Mueller and company and been informing them for their part, they're able to go ahead and move on with the actual claims. But the problem becomes is the city sidewalk. Once we finish the claims on our property, a city sidewalk still has all these roots in there. So we're kind of basically doing a half job here. The roots are still going to crawl into our residents in future, in our private property. So it makes no sense for us to do a half job here, get our property done, but not resolve the problem of where it should be resolved first, because that's going to cost us money in the long run, after we fix our property here. So that's why we're asking City of Cerritos to help us with the sidewalk first, and then we can proceed on to doing our private property. So that's what I wanted to add on to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Fox Louis.
Good evening. My name is Fox Louis. I don't want to waste too much time because Sona, Fernando, Stephanie, and also another neighbor, Kevin, we submit a claim together. So we have the same problem caused by the city tree rules. So it damaged our driveway, the block wall, landscape, and entryway, and more. So I really appreciate Fernando explain to you in everything in detail. So I don't want to occupy this 5 minutes and give this 5 minutes to other person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fox Louis. Sam Desai.
Good evening, Mayor, Council Member, City staff, friends. Just realized today is July 10th. Our Council Member Linda Johnson may be in Philippines. Not sure, but if you are the Council Member, good morning over there. It's 10 o'clock. Today, I'm here to share with you about what I'm experiencing as far as business process, business license process. And I sincerely hope that business license individuals who have been helping me or who helped yesterday specifically, that you guys are amazing. You answered all my questions. You looked at all my applications, and you kindly directed me to go to city license portal. Now, I just happen to have one business license in this city. It has my email ID. We do have business license on that. Unfortunately, we are adding more. I mean, we are investing in city of Cerritos, and we do need more licenses. And for that, that email system is not working. Where when we request that we need username, possibly, and I'll be working with that. Please look into that because, again, people may try to get business license and not be able to do that. Other thing is we are doing an internship program for Cerritos students, high school students, college students, university students. And the internship program includes automation, industrial automation, and AI. It also includes different professions. I'm a tax professional, for an example, so there is an internship for those in finance sector. Social media is another thing. We are doing definitely an internship on that. There is also an internship program for journalism. And as Mayor knows that what he writes, many individuals are reading it. And one of the things that we are doing is we are putting Cerritos newspaper together. So our interns can, learn a little bit more about what city is saying and deliver that newspaper to our seniors in multiple different languages. So all these different efforts are happening right here in city of Cerritos with help of our local businesses and, of course, Chamber of Commerce. So this morning, there was locally, in our local city, right, like sister city, Artesia, we had an event where we worked with distributing knowledge, information through experts, how to start planning to get your projects funded. So as we are looking at economic development projects, as we are looking at the city investing in new not-for-profit, please know that we are here to support you. We are already with you. We are talking to individuals who will be donating, who will be managing, who will be working with city, who will be coming with different proposals that you will be going through. And one request I do have for the council is, I know that as our Chamber of Commerces are evolving, not only in this city but beyond, and I know that you have made an active effort on giving them their independence. Now that they're independent of the city funds, I'm sincerely considering become a chamber member and show city staff and city council members that let's move things behind, let's move forward, and we are the residents, right? We are with you. You guys have done really good job in so many different things. You have taken our constructive criticism and not, felt that we are misrepresenting something. So with Chamber of Commerce and the drive that I want to see from our council is please show up to more of our, or any local grand openings. And if the city is being invited to grand opening, my expectation, Mayor, from you, sir, if you're going to be there, please invite the chambers, the local chambers, because those grand opening is important for those business owners. And I will be there, right? I will hold your hand. I'll introduce you to people. But the good point is our new businesses needs to know from licenses to grand opening, we are one. Thank you.
Mahikanth Murakondo. Murakonda. Murakonda. Hello, Mr. Murakonda.
Thank you for pronouncing it right. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Mahikant Murakonda. You can pronounce it. I live at Miles Street for the last 26 years. But we have a real problem. I never seen this before. We have a parking problem, trash problem, and I suspect there may be a drug deal going on there. And the people come there, park until 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock night, because I wake up at 4 o'clock, I go for walking with my dog. I see these people sometimes. And one of those approached me and asked me for, where are you going? I said, I'm just walking my dog, and it's scary for me. I don't know why he came. He just opened his car door and walked to me. It's 4:30 morning, because I go to work 7. I take my dog at 4:30 and come back home at 5:30. I take my shower, I eat my breakfast, go to work. It is scary. I want to give you some pictures before I explain things and what's going on in my surrounding areas. You might have seen in our newspaper, local newspaper, which was published 2 months back, about the trash on Delamo and Clarita surrounding that Tesla Middle School. And those are some of those pictures represents those. And you can see the beer bottles. You can see everything there, whatever it is. How many cars are parked. You can see the night parking. At 4:30, I have taken those pictures. And that time, that guy came and asked me, what are you doing here? It's scary. There are not only cars, there are trucks. There are 3 trucks you can see there. And the city started giving them tickets recently, I think since last 2 months. But they know nobody comes there Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. That is their time. And they come and trash everything there. And not only that, it's loud and it is scary for the neighbors to go out. And it is not, most of the neighbors we live with are older people, aged like 60 plus. I'm 66. And we cannot fight with them, we cannot run with them, and we cannot escape them if they follow us. My neighbor, one time he tried to take pictures. That guy came out and he tried to hit his wife and him. This is what is happening. And there is another thing is, you see the Target and Bloomfield and Delamo. You can see the trash, how much trash accumulated there. That was there since last 3 weeks. Nobody bothered about it. I don't know what's going on. Nobody, no city employee passed by that way, no sheriff passed by that way. That guy is sitting right there and living there. And you see that, one more picture, the guy sitting in the park where this exercise equipment is there. Can we go and do anything there? It's impossible. This is city becoming a trash, especially in my area. And they're dumping trash, they're parking cars, we don't know who they are, where they're coming from. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they know. There is no ticket, they can't get a ticket because nobody comes there. It's a real problem. I hope you guys can help us and take care of this. Thank you.
You said these photos were taken at 4:30 a.m.?
There is 2 photos I have taken at 4:30 a.m. morning. There you can see the lights.
Okay, and also you included some photos of Claretta.
Yeah, that is there. That is the Carrera. That is the
Isn't Claretta City of Lakewood?
no. That is a Tesla school.
Is Claretta in Cerritos?
Yep.
Yes, north of Delama Boulevard, Claretta's and Cerritos.
Yeah, this is
And south of Delamo Boulevard, it's in Lakewood.
Correct.
So these photos are from Claretta in Cerritos and not
just
Claretta?
in front of the Tesla middle school.
Okay.
And both sides of the middle school. On Delamo, actually, that is a bike area, but people don't care. The park is there.
I'll look at your photos again and I'll talk about him with the city manager and with Captain Drew Strong, okay?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Murakonda.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep in touch, okay?
Thank you.
Samar Malouf.
Good evening, Mayor Yokoyama and ladies and gentlemen. And I guess this is number 4 that I come to the city meeting, and it's regarding the speeding on our streets. And every time they speed, they come from Norwalk, crossing to Alondra, between homes. And we have lots of robberies. And when they speed, they are killing our cats. And I've been calling the police many times, and nothing's happening. But I want to say thank you that you are our mayor now. Because you are the first one who answers and responds to anything we call. When we call, we find the answer right away. And I sent petition. And I sent pictures. I took pictures in Pasadena, Huntington Beach, Torrance, everywhere, between residential areas. They do have humps. It's the rubber humps, the pieces. And it's safe for police, fire engine, ambulance, and everybody. It's not like, the bumps. It's not high enough. But if the residential, the residents and the people, they come from Norwalk, crossing to Alondra between our homes, if they see humps, they will never speed again. And I don't know what to do. I mean, I've been trying to stop, people telling them, slow down, slow down. They tell me bad words, flipping fingers. I don't know what to do. So I did the petition, and we need the help. And this is a very serious problem because my neighbor, he has his son, he has autism. And I saw him around 9 o'clock at night outside on the street. I had to stop in the middle of the street so no cars will come and hit him. So I had to call James, telling him, your son is outside. And he came and he told me, Mrs. Malouf, I didn't see him, he sneaked out. So I don't know what else, They've been killing, cats like crazy. And when they do this to humans, it's not right. And I know when we call, I know that right away you put the speedometer. It's number 7. This is 7th time now. And this is number 4. I'm here. We really need help, seriously. That's all. Oh, one more thing. We pay property tax, and in property tax, there's vectors. They spray our streets for rats, mice, roaches. They did this before COVID. After COVID, I never saw them again. We have roaches everywhere. I mean, these roaches are like horses. You can ride them. Seriously. So the city has to know, and the mayor has to know. Okay.
Thank you, Samar.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And I hope, something will be done.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So the city council received your written correspondence and your petition and the photos. I spoke about it with the city manager. He is working on some ideas with his staff for Granada Park. And can you please update the council and Samar once those, or do you have an update you want to give now at this moment?
I can, Mayor, if you'd
Okay,
like.
all right.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. We actually, Ms. Maloof and several folks in the neighborhood have repeatedly expressed concerns related to speeding along this corridor. As was mentioned, we have had the speed camera, the speed limit, speed indicator out there a number of times. We have actually had a traffic engineer study the area, and in light of recommendations made by a licensed traffic engineer, we actually, in the near future, are going to be installing some improvements in this area. These include striping along the curves to direct drivers to slow down, along with additional signage and reflectors. This has been done successfully in other areas of the city, and so we feel it will help the situation. Of course, we'll continue to monitor it, and if additional improvements are needed, we can take another look. And that will happen in the coming weeks.
I really appreciate it.
In the
Thank you
coming
so
weeks,
much.
meaning in the next 2 months?
Honorable Mayor, Member City Council, no, we're currently seeking quotes right now. We hope to have them by next week, and based on contractor availability, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we think is feasible.
Can you please keep Samar Maloof informed about when these will go into place so she can let the neighbors know?
Of course.
Thank you.
And I want to say
That's
thank
Chris.
you for being our mayor.
Oh, thank you, Samar. That's Chris. Chris? He's a new addition to the city. When was your first day?
Almost 2 months ago.
Thank you. So,
Did I speak to you? No.
okay, so Chris and Robert and I will update you about these safety enhancements going into place in Granada Park.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Mel Cortez.
Thank you, Mayor Yokoyama and council members. I'm handing out this chart that shows the good news. 2024-2025 home break-ins, the first 6 months of 2024 and the first 6 months of 2025. And you see the improvements, about 25% less home break-ins this year than last year. Thank you, Captain Drew, for all the help, and the sheriff that they've been providing. Council members for all the help you've given, and also our neighborhood watch members in the city. Of course, they're still trying because almost every day we've been having all through the city attempts. But we're still trying to keep them out. Also, thank you, city, for it's been a few years, but now in our area, Morning Sun, some of the sidewalks have been fixed, are being fixed still. Some of the medians are getting some more plants and irrigation. I know they started across the street a few months, but now they moved to our side, and it looks nice. They're doing a lot of good work. And now a few pine trees were removed also. I think a couple years ago, some were removed, and about 3 more were removed this week. And the residents are happy. And also, the times we have asked for double yellow lines around the corners, we get the responses right away. Thank you. Athens. I asked Athens last week, about trash bins. In the contract in February, I believe, said that they will clean our trash bins. I asked right here, even the contract says 1. When I asked, the vice president said all 3 will be clean. So what they're doing first, they're gonna exchange the trash bins for compliant trash bins first. And then after that, the contract says clean. So they did clean mine. So they did a good job. So just for you to know, and also for residents to know that that's available from Athens. The LPRs were mentioned that the phase 2 was installed. March 28th, we were told that one of the automatic license plate readers was going to be installed on 166 at Studebaker, and it wasn't. So unless it's tiny, there's nothing there. I saw the one on Shoemaker 166. I saw the one down here by Bloomfield and Artesia. And March 28, we were told, and I did tell my neighborhood that there will be one right there, and there's nothing, unless it'll be done later on phase 2. On a resident, one of my neighbors asked me this, and we had on June 17, one of the sound walls fell on the freeway, Windjammer and the 91 freeway. It's a big piece of, it's a big section of the wall. Caltrans came right away, they put a fence, but they said that the city is responsible to put the wall up. And I think one of the city employees went to talk to people there, and then you guys need 3 quotes. So hopefully it'll be done soon, because the noise, a lot of noise now. You could hear the noise from the cars on that side of the neighborhood. The gentleman that spoke about the street takeovers on Studebaker and Artesia. I could hear him from I live about half a mile from there. I could hear him. We could hear him. Our neighbors have been caught in the madness. Last week or 2 weeks ago, the same group was on the news. They broke into AM, PM, and on Bloomfield and Artesia, which is about a mile from there. When I was in the city safety committee, I brought this up about 2 or 3 times about that intersection, and they keep coming and coming and coming. And I had no idea they were breaking into the neighborhood, but maybe the LPR trailer with live feed might be helpful right now before anything else happens. That will be helpful because you'll be able to see what's going on, and maybe that could deter those people from coming back. Thank you for listening, and great job with safety.
Okay, thank you for the update about Athens responding to you. And City Manager, do you have any information about the ALPR camera that the speaker mentioned?
Yes, thank you. It was the hope that the phase 2, as you may recall, we had original plans for phase 2, and at a council meeting there was discussion about replacing one of the previously planned intersections with the intersection of 166 and Studebaker that was referenced. As we went through the process of ordering the equipment, we had found that additional work would be needed and additional types of equipment would be needed for that intersection. So we have reverted that one back to phase 3. So the plan is for that to occur in the coming months, and it's still to happen. It's just there was a issue with the parts that were needed for that particular site.
Thank you, City Manager. So we have exceeded the 45 minutes for public comments that is stated in the agenda. However, since I have 2 blue cards left and these speakers have patiently waited for their turn, I will let these 2 speakers who turned in cards make their public comment, despite the fact that we have exceeded the 45 minutes that is indicated as the maximum time in the agenda. So the next speaker is Al Barlevy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. I'll try to keep it short, given the time constraint. I came here I was at the May 22nd council meeting. I was recognized for the Jewish American Heritage Month. At the time, I put into the biography how almost every week I march down in Long Beach to raise awareness of the hostages that are being held by Hamas in Gaza. But at the time, it was decided that it shouldn't be mentioned because it's too political. Since then, there was a development, and a group similar to the group in Long Beach, a group in Boulder, was attacked by Molotov cocktails. And I came here at the June 12th to report about it, and then to basically put that back into my bio. And since then, there was another unfortunate development, because one of the victims of that firebombing attack has succumbed to her injuries, an 82-year-old woman. And why was she murdered? Simply because she raised awareness that there are Jews being held hostage in Gaza. And I should say, not 100% of them are even Jews. There are 31 Thais, one Filipino, one Nepalese person, and one person from Tanzania. So, but they are all guilty by association with Jews. So that's the reason that they were murdered. And but it's systematic, and the perpetrator of the crime, he claims that he hates Zionists, which is code for hating Jews. And it's more, and the systematic problem here is that the anti-Semitism is being masqueraded. So the anti-Semites don't say we're anti-Semites, they say we're anti-Zionist, which means obliterating the state of Israel, and with it the 7.5 million Jews who live there. When they say the Jews need to go back where they came from, where they come from, the Nazi gas chambers. And when they say free Palestine, what does that mean? Free Palestine from all those Jews. When they say globalize the Intifada, what does that mean? Murder the Jews everywhere. Intifada is the Arabic word for uprising, but in this context, Intifada means strapping bombs on you and committing suicide bombings at restaurants and buses and all kinds of other events. So again, I really want to thank the city of Cerritos for recognizing Jewish American History Month, which is doing its really, really minor part in fighting anti-Semitism, even though the Jewish community in Cerritos is so tiny that I think my home with 3 inhabitants makes up 1% of the Jewish community in Cerritos. Thank you very much.
Alicia. Thank you, Al. David Sue.
Good evening, Mayor and Cerritos City Council members. My name is David Sue. I serve as the Policy Director for the California chapter of Next Gen Politics, a youth-led grassroots organization committed to civic education and youth empowerment. Our organization is preparing young people to understand and navigate policy at every level of government, local, state, and federal. But we begin where impact is most immediate, at our cities and schools. Our mission includes making government more accessible to youth, helping students influence local legislation, supporting students in advocating for themselves before school boards, city councils, and in local elections. Through hands-on workshop, student-led forums, public comment training, we guide students to learn how policy is made and how they can actively shape it. Whether it's school safety resolutions, a city-wide youth initiative, or understanding how state bills affect their neighborhoods, we believe that when students understand the process, they engage with purpose. In communities like Cerritos, there's real potential to connect local governments with the next generation of leaders by providing students with opportunities to observe and participate in civic processes. We help cultivate policy literacy, civic responsibility, and a lifelong commitment to public service. We look forward to working with city leaders who are committed to uplifting student voices and ensuring that public institutions are accessible and responsive to youth. Thank you for your time and for supporting the next generation to be informed, empowered, and civically engaged. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I will now close the public comment period. The next item is the consent calendar.
Mayor, before we go over there, I would like to make some comments on the item 7B3. I'm sorry, it's 7B2. I just want to make some comments only.
Should we remove it, Assistant City Attorney, should we remove it from the consent calendar, or can she make comments about it and maybe maybe we won't be removing it from the consent calendar?
I would recommend removing it from the consent calendar to make the comments.
Okay, did you hear that?
Oh, okay, just want to make slightly comments, but if we have to remove it, it's not necessary. Thank you.
I would welcome your comments. So
Okay,
I
then
would
I just
welcome
make,
your comments, and so if you want to remove item 7B2 to the consent calendar, I support that.
okay, thank you, Mayor. Actually, on 7B2, I would just want to say I really appreciate the treasurer's report. This is a very good treasurer report, and I encourage everybody to look at that because to me, it's very important. And the city staff and, they all work hard for this one. From this kind of report, we can really, really look into every fund, and it's very clearly listed. So people are really concerned about the city's budget and knowing where we're going. Please pay attention to this one because this report will be submitted every month, from the past months, so it's very important. People are talking about, we want to know about budgeting and everything, and I am based on this one so we can really watch our budgeting going forward. I know we already approve it, although we still have budget deficit, but if we work hard and watch where we're going with every treasurer report every month, is very beneficial because then we know where we're going to the right direction or where we're going to the wrong direction. So I just want to make a comment. Thank you for this detailed report. I know city staff spend time to do this, and I encourage people to look at that because I do appreciate it. And that's my comments. I don't need to make any motion for any approval. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
sorry about that.
Councilmember Say.
Just for verification, since Councilwoman Ms. Hong put this out, I'm so glad that I also have a question just for clarification on your item 7B2-2, the retirement versus your 7B1. Page 7B1, page 2. What's the difference between one is a public retirement and the other one is employee retirement?
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Say.
Verification.
Now that we're asking questions about it, should we remove it from the consent calendar? Assistant City Attorney Shakan.
Yes, we should remove it from
Okay,
the
I'll
consent
remove
calendar.
it.
Thank you, sir.
I'll remove item 7B2 from the consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to remove it.
No.
Second, Sophia.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar except
7B2.
for item 7B2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
let's vote.
The motion passes on a vote of 4-0.
Okay, so we approved unanimously to approve the consent calendar except for item 7B2. Mr. City Manager, can we get a report?
Yes, thank you. I believe the question's related to page 2 of the treasurer's report as it relates to 2 separate fund line items that were listed, just to get clarification. Is that
Yes,
correct?
please. Yes.
Okay, so the first line item has to do, it's labeled redevelopment obligation retirement fund. That actually has to do with the dissolution of the redevelopment agency. The city receives funds, they're called ROPS payments. They're delivered funds that we receive from former tax increment revenue that cover pre-existing obligations at the time that redevelopment was dissolved. So existing loans, other obligations, contracts where the state law allowed for money to continue to flow in just for those obligations. So this is a fund balance for funds that are received for that purpose. The second line item actually it's a statutory set aside related to bonds from the redevelopment agency, the successor agency. This is an amount we keep in an account for regulatory compliance.
So one more question. So on your code 943, so you have 2 years, up to 2 years, right? End of the 2028. I mean 2028.
The redevelopment agency will sunset in 2028,
Sunset in
and so
2028.
at that time, these payments will cease to be coming in to the city.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Polito. Do you have any questions? Councilmember Hong, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve item 7B2.
Second. Let's vote on the screen.
The motion passes on a vote of 4-0.
Okay. Public hearings. There are no public hearings on tonight. There are no public hearings on tonight's agenda. Item 9A. City Manager, do we have a report on this item?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. Item 9A is a request to award a contract for conducting an economic impact study of the theater. We understand anecdotally that the performances and events that occur at the theater do bring in additional revenue, and awarding a contract to a consultant would help to quantify that. A presentation with an overview of this item will be given by Theater Administrator Paula Eagleman, and following her presentation, she and I, members of the team, would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. In May of this year, staff issued an informal request for proposals for an economic impact study of the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. The purpose of this study is to provide the City of Cerritos with a comprehensive understanding of the economic contributions of the CCPA. Respondents were asked to consider the indirect and direct economic impact of the CCPA operations on the local and regional economy. Subject of the study would include patron spending at local businesses, the generation of sales tax and transient occupancy tax by both patrons and performers, and the impact of the CCPA on local employment. Staff has reviewed the proposal submitted and is recommending Keene Independent Research be selected to conduct the economic impact study. Keene is a national arts, culture, economic, and market research firm with extensive experience conducting economic impact studies for arts organizations. A sampling of their recent projects include a performing arts feasibility study for the city of Corona, an arts and culture strategic plan for the city of Bourne, Texas, and a city cultural arts master plan for Jefferson City, Missouri. Keene's proposal includes a market analysis, an economic impact analysis, and a component to engage stakeholders, including community members and patrons, with surveys, interviews, and focus groups. In addition to the study itself, Keene will provide a framework which will allow staff to conduct ongoing analysis of the CCPA's economic impact as new data becomes available and as their process has concluded. So staff respectfully recommends that Keene Independent Research be awarded the contract to conduct an economic impact study of the CCPA, and that City Council authorize a budget amendment of $75,000 to fund this project, with the expenses to be paid out of the CCPA Endowment Fund. This concludes my report, and at this time, representatives from Keene Independent Research and our staff would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for that report, Paula. Do we have any questions from the City Council? I'll look to Councilmember Say. Do you have any questions, Councilmember Say?
Thank you, Mayor. Quick question. I was just wondering, this report, how the report can help us fill the gap between the expense of the operating of CCPA and the revenue?
Thank you for the question. One of the, as the report indicates, one of the points of doing a report like this is to identify ancillary revenues that come into the city that may not be directly attributed to the theater department's revenue as it's shown in the budget. That would help us just identify how much less of a gap there is, if you will, between revenues and expenses for the department itself. It also, this particular study will also help demonstrate value of the CCPA within the community and as it relates to the general economic development and operations of the city itself. So there'll be a lot of context in this report when it comes out in several months. And we look forward to seeing not only those values quantified, so we can actually see what the dollars are, what that impact is in dollars, but also the value that it brings to the community as a whole.
I want to thank you so much, everyone. Also, adding you into the CCPA make a huge difference during the summer program. You brought your team over, like the showcase and also the music things on Thursday in the park, Heritage Park. I really enjoyed that. I want to thank you so much. I think all of us here today, CCPA is a jewel to us. I mean, we should be very honored to have CCPA in our city because CCPA library and the park, that's what the highlight our city. And I would support this, but I also went to the conference. When at the conference they talk about the, I know, I hate to say we are losing money. It is true though, but this is a public service to the community and to the outside and bring the business here to us. We'll see the both sides. I see that too. But however, it was mentioned for this kind of thing in the future because we're one moment was 6 million, we lost 6 million and 3 million. There's so much different variant there. Maybe you should consider it. This would recommend then 5% of fixed, so that way you won't have a one moment there's 3 million loss and 6 million. So we kind of prepare the fixed rate for us. That's just a future recommendation. We can take a look into it. But I love this the study. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Hong, do you have any questions?
I just want to make sure one more time, if this budget is, the $75,000 is within our budget already or not? Because I know it's important we have to study because that's the only way we can prove why is CCPA is the economic engine, because we always question about it. We cannot cover it just by selling the tickets. So we want to prove that, what is the side business and what is the other business, involved with it. I think it's important starting, but I always look at the budgeting first.
I can help clarify that. So to be clear, this would not be spent from general fund monies or from the general fund reserve. Staff is recommending that we do a budget amendment and have dollars spent from our theater endowment fund. And part of the rationale for doing that is that in addition to quantifying the existing impacts of the theater, the consultant will also be recommending specific types of programming and events that would help to further enhance revenues in the future. So there is a benefit in terms of adding to our programming. But to be clear, there would not be any general fund expenditures from this. It is new money, but it's a one-time expenditure that would not impact an operational deficit, if you will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hong. Councilmember Polito, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I have a couple questions, but first I want to say thank you for the presentation by Paula. Thank you, and Jeff, and thank you to Kristen and Drew for also helping to provide the report along with City Manager Robert Lopez. I'm glad that we're doing this. My first question is, has there been a similar economic impact study of the CCPA done in the past? And if so, could that be provided to the council members for our reference?
Yes, thank you for the question. The last time an analysis like this was performed was approximately 25 years ago. I don't believe that we have, I don't have those records in front of me right now. We could do a search for it. I would say 25 years, a lot has happened since then. Yeah. Also, it is my understanding that this particular proposal is a broader scope than what was performed before, as they'll be doing more research to provide more context around value added for the venue itself. And also, as City Manager Lopez mentioned, to help inform programming. So it might be a little bit like comparing apples and oranges, but we can certainly make our best efforts to find that report for you.
Jeff, this is the 33rd or 34th season?
33.
33rd season. So after 8 years, they did an economic impact study. Any idea what the circumstances were that prompted the council to initiate that economic impact study?
I don't have that information, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'd be very curious to find out, one, if we could get a hold of a copy of that impact study, and also what the discussion at the council level was that prompted them to do that study only 8 years into the theater. And then I'm wondering if there's subsequent if there's any documentation of the decisions that came from that economic impact study 25 years ago. You know, what maybe perhaps budgetary actions that were taken to implement any recommendations that may have come from that study a quarter century ago.
Council member, what I'd like to do is we'll research and see what's available along the lines of memos, agenda reports, things like
great.
that could help
Yeah.
answer that.
I mean, these are questions just to kind of spur the conversation along. We don't have to answer them tonight, but you know, these are just things that come immediately to mind. Yeah, if it's available, even if it's in a PDF form, I imagine that there's a very big document, but even a top lines memo to council, so we understand the context upon which we're going to be approving this study, and then I understand waiting for about 6 to 8 months to have the new findings, and be very eager, as well as I imagine the community will be eager to see that, since it seems to be the focus of attention of a number of people, both at the podium and on social media. I do have a question about the scope of the study. It says over the 6 to 8 months that they'll be doing the study. Will they be including the numbers from the current season? Or this is just a historical analysis of the previous seasons?
Actually, if I could, if we could introduce, we have a representative from the consultant.
Perfect.
Right now,
I did not
Haley's
know.
here. If we could,
Wonderful.
She's still here. You can't see. Okay.
Hi.
Haley Adams.
Haley Adams with Keen. Please, if you could.
Yeah. So we would be looking at the past 5 years. And so I think depending on when we start that, when that date range begins, we could include the current season or just the past 5 years.
You could or you will?
I believe we will.
Okay. And the only reason I ask is because
You will.
Yeah.
Just you will. Not I
We would
believe
like,
you
yeah.
will. Not it's just you will. It's
We will.
my colleague, Councilmember Polito, has made it clear that you're going to include the most up to date information.
Okay.
Okay.
We will.
Let's just be clear and not have any anything that's not defined. Okay. So he wants it to be as up to date as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just pretty pleased with what developments I've seen just since returning to the council over at the theater. I mean, this is a very exciting season, and I'd be curious to see the full analysis of that, so we could see the actual data-driven analysis as this report claims your study will provide for us. And it'd be great if it is fully inclusive of the current season. Actually, not the current, but the one that's going to commence on August 23rd with Boys to Men. So I already feel the excitement and enthusiasm in the city as well as the Southland. It's heads are turning and attention is being refocused again on the Cerritos Center, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And it would be great to see the results of your study that might affirm what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing in the community. So that's the context upon which I make my comments. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have. But Haley, I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Coming. Actually, I do have a question. For it's Keen Independent Research, right? That's the company. Has your firm done similar studies for other publicly owned arts venues? Could you name a few, and could perhaps those studies be provided to us in PDF form? So I
Yeah.
could study them over the next 6 to 8 months?
A comparable one would be for the city of Corona.
Okay.
In California. And then Jeff City, I believe we have that in our proposal as well.
I missed that. What was the second
Jefferson City, Missouri.
one? Okay. And there are theaters?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'd be very curious to read those. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Yeah, can
Thank
I
you.
have a question?
Okay, Councilmember Hong.
Oh, I still have a question for, the lady. I want to know what kind of, can you give me just a brief introduction? What are you starting, like a restaurant or a hotel? Or, because I know around town center, we have a lot of industrial, building, not industrial, a lot of office, building. So I don't know, you're including the hotel, restaurant, or retail, or just a very brief, what's the range and what are you covering it?
Yeah. So our managing principal, Alex Keene, will have much better information about this. He's available now. I can give him a call if that is helpful. He wasn't able to be here, but I would rather him give more affirming answers to this, if that's possible.
If I may, before you make the call, if I may, as part of our review process, we did speak with them in a bit more detail about this. So they'll be looking at all sorts of business impacts. So they would be looking at operations like the hotel, the town center in general, and also the surrounding areas. As the report mentions, they will also be looking at other impacts such as employment impacts. So any nexus points that CCPA might have in the community as it relates to economic impacts, but also just business impacts in general. They'll be studying all of that, and the principal actually made that pretty clear on the call that we had when we were talking about those details. So it is a very comprehensive study that's been proposed. I will also say that of the multiple proposals that we reviewed, this one was by far the most in-depth and complex proposal that we reviewed. It will provide much more context for the council and the community to understand impact and value as it relates to the theater itself, and it will. Although I won't promise this, I will say that we suspect, as the city manager mentioned, what we have talked about anecdotally for years will be proven in the data. And it will be supportive of what Keene and Associates have been proving around the country, which is typically when you have entertainment venues and arts organizations within communities, they have a very positive economic impact in those communities. And it's a very large sector in the national economy. So all of that will come together in the final report. And I think that of all the proposals, as I said, this one will cover all the points that you're most interested in as it relates to all of those businesses.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm curious, and I can't wait to see that. And you were talking about it's about 6 months?
6 to 8 months is what we were.
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months is what we were talking about as soon as they start. And we did, I can defer to Mr. Schneider as well on this, is one of the points that he made during the conversations was to have a report ready for review by the council in time for the next budget cycle that would help the council with more information as it relates to budget-related decisions and what we continue to do over at the theater.
Okay, and last question. So 75,000 is the maximum. It doesn't matter how long or how much work you've done. It's like total package is $70,000. If they feel like they have to spend more time or more study, and I hope there's no increase on the cost on our side.
I can speak to that. It's our understanding that the cost is an all-in cost for the proposal that we have in hand. Anything that would change that cost would be a city-directed change order. So if something came up in the course of the study that either that necessitated a change in some form or fashion, then we might have a need to increase the cost. But as it sits right now, no matter the time that it takes, this is the proposal and this is the cost.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions, Councilmember Hong?
No, thank you.
Any other questions from my council colleagues? Okay, thank you for this report, Jeff and Drew and Paula. It's nice to see you give the report, Paula. Good to see you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
I want this report. This is the questions time, so I'm not going to make any comments. I'm going to give my questions. In the fiscal impact, it says the EIS contract is not expected to exceed $75,000. It says in accordance with Keene's proposal, the EIS contract is not expected to exceed $75,000. So what is it? Is it $75,000 or it's not a definite amount at this point?
It's $75,000.
Okay, so why doesn't it say the EIS contract is $75,000?
I think that would refer to any unexpected change orders, but as it sits right now, it would be $75,000.
Okay, so their proposal to us is for a contract. Their proposal to us to provide this economic impact study, EIS, is $75,000.
Correct, sir.
And thank you for discussing it with your questions, Councilmember Hong. So right now, our CCPA endowment fund has about $13 million in it, right? Drew, Robert. It's agenda item 7B2, if anybody's wondering. Treasurer's report. As of May 31, 2025, it says that our CCPA endowment fund is almost $13 million. Isn't that right, Drew?
That's correct. It's a moment in time balance.
Yeah, and we haven't had any big expenses from that account in June, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're right around $13 million. So this is a restricted fund, right, Robert?
Yes, it is restricted for purposes related to the theater.
Okay, great. So that restricted fund of $13 million, we can only spend that money on the CCPA.
That's correct.
Okay, so we're spending this investment of $75,000 on this EIS. We're investing the $75,000 to figure out how to make more money with our CCPA. Isn't that right, Robert?
Yes.
Okay. And this agenda report is presented to us to explain to us what the EIS is going to do. But it's also telling us it's going to cost $75,000, right, Robert?
Yes, as you said, it's an investment.
Yeah. So what I don't like in terms of the dollar amounts, the relative dollar amounts, is recommendation number 3 could potentially, we're potentially giving you, the city manager, authority to spend another $50,000, right?
As it reads, you're correct.
Okay.
The city
So
council may
correct.
amend this if you prefer.
So when it comes time, I'm not going to approve number 3. I'm going to make you come back with an agenda report asking for more money. Okay?
Yes, or another option is to consider is to strike the 50,000 but keep the 15%, which would allow some flexibility in case there's a minor change needed.
Okay, that's an option. Then we could have just said does not exceed 15%, but because the 50,000 in there and relative to the 75,000, it's almost like you're asking to increase the contract by 67% just by putting that 50,000 in there. So those were my questions. I have a speaker card. This is item 9A regarding the award of a contract to Keen Independent Research to conduct an EIS of the CCPA. I have a card for Adrian Ayub.
Good evening, council members. I'm bringing this up as someone who comes from, as just a native of Cerritos and someone who comes from a military family. In my involvement with Friends of First CEB, I've had the privilege of meeting some of the most exemplary Marines near the CCPA. And these young men, they're married, they're grounded, and they're looking to build a life after service. Many have shared with me how they admire Cerritos, and I think we should do more to welcome them into the fabric of our city. Cerritos is facing a demographic challenge. We're struggling to attract and retain young professionals because, as candidate Pat Naik once said, we don't have nightlife. Yet these Marines are exactly the kind of residents we need, mature, responsible, and civic-minded. They're not just looking for a condo or a townhouse, they're looking for a home, a future, and a city that believes in them the way they believed in this country. So that's why I'm advocating for designating housing opportunities for veterans using VA loan programs, down payment assistance if they do not have sufficient funds to pay buyer broker compensation in this post-NAR settlement era, and career support programs to assist Marines and other veterans transitioning into civilian life. I've been advocating for veterans housing units for many months now because I know that these service members wouldn't just live in Cerritos, they would strengthen it, lead in it, and contribute to its future. Let's be a city that doesn't just say thank you for your service and present them with a quilt outside of the CCPA, but one that invests in the lives of those who have served in the Marine Corps and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers on this item? Seeing none, I will close the public comment period. Does the council have any additional questions or comments? Councilmember Say, do you have any additional questions or comments?
No, sir.
Councilmember Hong, do you have any additional questions or comments? No, Councilmember Polito, do you have any additional questions or comments?
No additional questions or comments, but I'd like to make the motion at the appropriate time, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion, Councilmember Polito?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt agenda item 9A, authorizing the city manager to execute a professional services contract with Keen Independent Research, LLC, in the amount of $75,000 to conduct an economic impact study of the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. And 2, to authorize the city manager or his designee to execute a budget amendment for a new allocation of $75,000 in fiscal year 2025-26 with expenses charged to the CCPA Endowment Fund. And 3, authorize the city manager or his designee to execute contract amendments provided that the total cumulative increase does not exceed 15% of the original contract value, whichever is greater.
So moved by Sophia.
I don't like the whichever is greater language. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So that's my friendly amendment.
I'm amenable to the friendly amendment. We'll strike that.
Second by Sophia.
Thank you.
Read to the friendly amendment, Councilmember Say?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion passes on a vote of 3-1.
The next item is item 10. City Manager, do we have any legislative items?
Thank you, Mayor. We have no legislative items to report under either 10A or 10B this evening.
The next item is 11A. Does the City Manager have a report?
Thank you. None this evening, sir.
Nothing? The next item is 11B, City Council Communications. Councilmember Say.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow, what time is now? 9 o'clock or something? It's really fast. Thank you, Mayor. Over the past 2 weeks, I attended several community service events in our city, including the 2025 Family Entertainment Showcase, Tuesday Family Nights, and Thursday Concert Under the Stars. I truly appreciate the staff hard work in bringing such diverse, engaging programs to our residents. This gathering providing me with the opportunity to hear both praise and concern from the community, which is I have shared with our city manager for follow-up. On Tuesday, 7 night, on Lakewood reorganization, congratulations to newly elected Lakewood Mayor Cassandra Chess and Mayor Pro Tem Jeffrey Wood. I also want to thank to the former mayor who he did a great job on leading the Lakewood City. And it was always my honor to work with the Lakewood City. Highlights for me tonight it was the Lady Freedom Ring ceremony. Thank you to the team who made everything run so smoothly, and you made me look good. Thank you. The event was significant to me as to fulfill a dream my late mother held for her housekeeper's daughter. Though she passed in 2016, I felt her joy that night. I want to thank you, the staff, for your hard work. And today I also had a pleasure to attending Whitney High School Musical Theater Camp's Little Mermaid performance, which is one of my former colleague, ABCSD, the clerk, Miss Yokoyama Bui's son, and star at the Flounder. It was so fun when I watched them. Hopefully one day we can really encourage the city and district can work together, have our kids performance more shows in our CCPA. Later on, I joined the volunteer recognition dinner, and thank you to all the volunteers for your self-service. Again, thank you for the staff, put out such beautiful program for them to show our appreciation to them, hard work and hours they put into our city. Thank you. That's my end report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Say. Councilmember Hong?
Yes, I just make my report briefly. I think my most important thing is I have the honor on June 28th, Saturday. I am so proud to present a proclamation on behalf of our mayor, Yokoyama, and our other city council colleagues to present to the first CEB, the Lord's Lance Corporal Angelillo Mazzoli, because a proclamation for his outstanding service to us, to our country. And we really appreciate that. We did that, I think, once every month. And I think it's very important, the program, that we continue that. And they're very appreciate that the city supported as well. And the other major event I was talking, my council colleague was talking about, 4th July, the Friday, that celebration is the best because this is our Love Freedom Ring Committee, and with the city, we together, we put out the best celebration for not only for our city, for all our surrounding cities. I think all the residents enjoyed it, and then at the end, we have the fireworks come out, and this is a great ending. And every year, all the residents are looking forward to this event, and I hope the city can have this kind of big event all together for all our residents can enjoy it. And that's why I really enjoy it, and that's why I always say, I prefer to have a big event like this and let all the residents for the whole city enjoy it instead of by a lot of small event that still cost a lot of money. But anyway, this is my comments and my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hong. Councilmember Polito.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And also thank you to my council colleagues for your reports. I haven't had a chance to give my council member report in quite some time since we've been a very busy council ever since we got sworn in on March 26th. And because of the lateness of the hour of most of our previous council meetings, I've postponed my report until now. There's been so many activities that I would love to report on, but at least the ones that I have some materials from, I just wanted to make mention of some of the great events that have been going on in the community that I was honored to be a part of. April 26th, we have the Los Angeles County-wide Ube Fest over at Don Kanabe Park. Very much enjoyed that. And on the same day, our annual Spring Fling, celebrating the city's 69th anniversary. In my memory, I've never seen back-to-back events like that at the county park adjacent to our Cerritos Sports Complex. And I just want to commend everyone who was a part of that, both on the county side as well as our city. I think that day is a great indication of the wonderful things that can take place in this city, because we have great resources and venues and great creative energy here within our community to have events of that sort. And it's a great indication of the things that could come in the years to come. I was honored to join in, along with my colleagues, at the annual Children's Benefit Dinner of the Community Family Guidance Center on May 8th at the Sheraton. This wonderful, very moving event. There was actually a keynote speaker who just really spoke to the very importance of nonprofit organizations like Community Family Guidance Center that are helping the most vulnerable in our community address oftentimes issues that are not popular to discuss, issues of mental health and the impacts of society on our families. And so the gentleman who spoke was just really powerful and compelling, and really speaks to the importance of the nonprofit sector in our community. And I'm glad to be in support of that organization. I attended the San Carlinian Organization of Southern California. I was given an opportunity to say a few words there and provide the invocation. And I just wanted to say thank you to that organization for its longtime commitment to this community over the many decades. I was honored to join them, and I wish them much success in years to come. I attended the 26th Annual Teen Contest Award over at the Cerritos Library on May 12th. Just always amazed and really encouraged by the next generation of leaders, our teens, and their creative energies and their enthusiasm to be involved in our community. And I just want to also take the opportunity to commend our library staff over there for providing those opportunities for our teens to compete and to be recognized by their community. For the first time, since I left the school board in 2011, so that is now 14 years, the first time I had ever been invited to a high school graduation. So I want to say thank you to, give me a second. I want to make sure that I get his name correct. To the brand new principal over at Gar High School, Dr. Richard Moore, for inviting me to participate in the Gar High School commencement ceremony. And congratulations to all those graduates, those gladiators, as well as all the graduates in our community. And again, didn't have a chance to congratulate all the graduates back during the commencement ceremonies for the local high schools. But yeah, it was wonderful to be a part of that. And just earlier this evening, I was able to attend with my council colleagues and the mayor our city's annual Volunteer Stan Awards for all of those wonderful volunteers, those young volunteers who dedicate hours upon hours. I mean, literally, I think one of them had volunteered over 200 plus hours to our library, helping to reshelve books and also work in the, what do they call it, the bookshop, the gift shop right there on the first floor. I think the amount was raised just in the past year, $14,971. It just stuck in my head. I said, wow, that's a lot of hard work, volunteer labor that helps to make things happen at the library. And they're truly unsung. Also, I want to thank the community for allowing me the opportunity to represent us at 4 conferences in April and May. I was able to attend in Sacramento the League of California Cities Conference. In Palm Desert, I attended the SCAG Conference, Southern California Area Governments Conference. In Indian Wells, in May, I was able to attend the California Contract Cities Association Conference. And a conference that I had never had a chance to attend before in all my years on the council, the ICSC conference in Las Vegas from May 18th to the 20th. And I'm very pleased to report that our council, along with our city staff, was able to meet with several representatives of hotels and also with representatives from the owner of the Los Cerritos Center to envision the future about how we could work together to further expand economic development in our town. And related to that, I was also very pleased to be a part of a meeting with Metro staff to talk about the changes that need to be made to the Southeast Gateway rail line that will come through Cerritos. And as many of you know from our previous council meetings, continuing discussions about not just bringing a station to Cerritos, but also bringing it all the way to the county line so we could envision the future of connecting the rail with Orange County for greater mobility throughout the Southland and greater economic development and prosperity for our community. And with that, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Polito.
Mayor, can I say one more thing? I forgot to report one of the
Okay,
things.
Councilmember Say.
Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that. Thanks again. I'm so excited. And council member, my former colleague, current colleague, you are wonderful. I mean, all the report that you presented to the public, and which is to catch up the past, and you kept all the record there. And I realized I forgot to mention one thing. I have to including her too. Mayor, I'd like to add one more thing. Due to the late hours of the last city council meeting, I wasn't able to report on another event that I attended. On Saturday, which is June 21st, I was honored to join our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Linda Johnson, at the library for the 5th anniversary celebration of the summer reading program. And my grandkids also attended with me, had a patio zone. It was fun. It was attended by several former library staff members, volunteers from Friends of the Library, and several hundred residents. It was a wonderful event, and I'm thankful to our library staff for working so hard on that event. Thank you, Mayor. That will be my finally end the report.
Mr. Mayor, I actually have one addendum.
Go
to my
ahead,
report too.
Councilmember Polito.
Okay, cool. And it's less about a report of activities, but just from earlier tonight, we heard during the public comment from one of our residents, Mr. Mel Cortez. I wanted to thank him for providing this graphic here of Cerritos home burglaries 2024 versus 2025, and thank him for his kind remarks about our city's efforts, as well as our captain and sheriff's station. But just taking a look at the numbers that he provided here today, it was wonderful to see that just from the data he provided, that year to date, home burglaries are down 25%. That's from 2024 to 2025, from 96 year to date to 72 year to date. That's 24 less. That's 25% reduction. But I just want to say this, it really warms my heart to see this, that since this council took office, I think collectively we deserve the credit due that in the months of April to June, year to date in 2024, there were 38 home burglaries, but in 2025, there were only 15. So that's 23% less, which amounts to a 61% reduction in home burglaries based upon the data as presented by Mr. Cortez. So I want to take the opportunity to not just commend our city staff and our captain under his leadership at the Cerrito Station, all the deputy sheriffs, but also our vigilant, neighborhood watch block captains and everyone in the neighborhood who, if they saw something, they must have said something because, we prevented so many home burglaries just, since March 26. Folks, it's definitely a new day in Cerritos. Thank you.
I did do that too.
Councilmember Hong, do you have any other?
No, thank you.
To make? Thank you, Councilmember Hong. So for one thing, I just wanted to say is that my heart is so full with the feedback that I've been getting about the state of the city 2025 that I'm hearing from residents and city employees and from City Hall staff. Thank you for sharing your comments with me. Thank you to the residents who've sent in comments. I'm happy that our stakeholders, our residents, our businesses, our employees are happy about the information and transparency that they received at the State of the City 2025. I was so blown away by the fact that we had 325 people, 325 attendees show up in person to attend and learn from the state of the city in our Sierra Room of the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. And since then, so many more have been watching it on Channel 3 and on video replay. And again, the feedback that I've been hearing has been so heartwarming. So thank you. It means a lot to me that the residents and our employees and our businesses want to be informed and engaged and know what the state of the city is. Today, this was a great meeting. It was a successful meeting. And I just wanted to recognize the fact that we have some people here who did their jobs well. They did their jobs well for this meeting, because they're not here normally every meeting. But today they did their jobs well. And so from representing community development, we have Sabrina Chan. Thank you, Sabrina, for attending on behalf of community development today. Okay. And then from our city clerk's office, we have representing the city clerk's office handling a very full public comment period and a busy meeting. We have Assistant City Clerk Alicia Alvarez. Thank you for your job today. And then also we have today our Assistant City Attorney, Shakan Patel. Thank you for doing your job today. Appreciate you guys. Okay, and then also, I wanted to let everybody know that something that I've been working on for many years happened yesterday. And we're all here. Robert, is City Hall still standing?
Yes, it is.
All right, City Hall still standing. Glad to hear it. So, effective yesterday, Wednesday, July 9, 2025, our hard-working City of Cerritos staff enabled comments on posts to the city's social media platforms. Congratulations, residents. Congratulations. The City of Cerritos is more transparent and more open to communication as of yesterday, Wednesday, July 9, 2025, with the enabling of comments on the City of Cerritos' social media platforms. It's a new day. That was long overdue. And lastly, there was consensus from some of my council members to direct staff to present a report for consideration of modifications to the City of Cerritos meeting schedule, including the start time. So I am asking for consensus from my city council colleagues to begin the next meeting. It is a special meeting scheduled for Monday, July 28 at 7 p.m. I'm asking for consensus to instead start the meeting at 6 p.m. so that, thank you, so that we can experiment with an earlier start time of 6 p.m. and that will give us information to consider for any potential changes to our future city council schedule. Do I have consensus?
I concur too.
Okay, we have concurrence.
And thank you for doing that. Thank you. At least give a chance. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, Councilmember Hong. So, Assistant City Clerk Alicia Alvarez, can you take care of that for us, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. Next on the agenda, item 12, Assistant City Attorney Shakan Patel. Will you please announce the closed session item?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. The City Council will now convene into closed session pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D4, to conference with legal counsel regarding potential litigation in one case.
We will now adjourn the regular meeting and the council will recess to closed session.